All right, for part A, the degree of the polynomial, 2 plus 1 plus 2 is 5. That means the maximum number of terms is 4. Turns is 4. And then what are we supposed to do for part C again? Oh, the end behavior. So the end behavior is as x approaches infinity, and I like to draw my own with a negative out here, so it's going to go down from left to right, odd degree, negative leading coefficient. So as x approaches infinity, y is going to go down. And as x approaches negative infinity, y goes up. Y goes up. Okay, d is the 0. So a factor of x plus 1 means we have a 0 of negative 1. The exponent of that factor is 2, so that means a multiplicity of 2. Then we have a factor of x minus 3, which means that 3 is a 0 with multiplicity 1. And then we have a factor of x minus 1, which means that 1 is a 0 and the exponent is 2, so we have a multiplicity of 2. So we have the ordered pair negative 1, 0. So negative 1 is an x-intercept, 3 is another one, and 1 is the third x-intercept. The end behavior is going to go down from left to right. So we're going to have up here, we're going to be approaching the first x-intercept. Let's go ahead and find the y-intercept first. So the y-intercept, we get that by letting x equal 0. And so we get y equals the opposite of 0 plus 1 is 1 squared. 0 minus 3 is negative 3. And 0 minus 1 is negative 1 squared. This guy right here is negative 1 times negative 3 times this guy, negative 1 squared is 1. So negative 3, or negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. So the y-intercept is 0, 3. So if we plot that point, then our graph has to go through all 4 of those points. We have a multiplicity of 2 for this x-intercept, a multiplicity of 2 for this x-intercept, and a multiplicity of 1 for the third x-intercept. So we're going to come down here and go up. We're going to touch that y-intercept and come down here and touch at 1. And we're going to go cross through the x-axis at positive 3. So that's how you do that one. And finally, our last one would be, let's see, the degree is 3 plus 2 plus 1. So problem number 4, the degree is 3 plus 2 plus 1 is 6. Positive leading coefficient, so the end behavior is going to look like that. Maximum number of turns could be 5. And then the end behavior, as x approaches positive infinity, y would also go up. And then as x approaches negative, I said x, but I wrote y. So as x approaches negative infinity, y also goes up. And then part D, take each factor and we list the zeros. So the 0 of 1 with a multiplicity of 3, a 0 of negative 1, multiplicity of 2, and then a 0 of positive 3 with a multiplicity of 1. So we have a 0 of 1, negative 1, and positive 3. And the end behavior is like this, so it's going to go up like that. So I just like to draw that. The first 0 of negative 1 has a multiplicity of 2, so it's going to come up, it's going to touch the x-axis like that from up above, so it's going to come down here and go up. The next x-intercept of 1 has a multiplicity of 3. So, we found we got to do the y-intercept also. So the y-intercept, let's do that first, so see how high or low we go. X equals 0, so we have negative 1 cubed, which is negative 1. 1 squared, which is 1. And then 0 minus 3, so we have negative 3. So we have negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3. So we have positive 3 again. So really it touches the x-axis at negative 1, comes up here. And then at positive 1, that's a multiplicity of 3, so that means it's going to do a squiggly right there. And then at positive 3, the multiplicity is 1, so we're going to go up through the x-axis like that. And that is your graph.